Han opened his eyes, enjoying the restful sleep he had and feeling the afterglow of their recent match. Interrupting his thoughts was the sensation of the mattress moving, making his eyes widen in alarm. Turning his head to look at the shifting feeling, he noticed someone he wasn't expecting to see. "Mom, we've talked about this!" Han shouted at the sleeping form of his mother. Her brown hair covered a part of her face, though not enough to cover the look of satisfaction with her enormous smile. Slowly, her eyes opened, and she slowly opened her mouth and said, "Good morning, honey. Did you have a good night's sleep?" Lazily moving her shoulder to get a better position, laying down on the mattress, the blanket covering her shifted to expose her bare shoulder. Even for someone younger than her smooth and pale skin seemed to glow in the partial darkness of the room. Her skin caught the morning light coming in from the window, making it appear to glow. Han got up, sitting on the bed, and looked at her, his eyes shifting to her exposed shoulder. His eyes were about to trace along her exposed skin, but he was successful at looking away. What made things worse was the natural reaction that all men had to experience waking up. Such a biological response made his thoughts feel disordered, considering how he knew all too well that his mother was extremely attractive looking. It was at that moment that he regretted viewing all those hentai videos and comics that fell into specific genres, bookmarking them into his browser or purchasing them for his collection back on Earth before he received his powers. "Mom, please tell me that at least this time you're wearing clothes," his voice conveying the stress building up from being in such a situation. His mother shifted herself onto her back, causing the blanket to fall a little further down and exposing the beginnings of her milky valley between two large mounds. Seeing her move made his eyes instinctually look towards her, and Han was unwillingly made to see such a sight that most men would dream about. "Seriously, Mom, I'm old enough to where you sneaking in and sleeping into my bed naked isn't appropriate. Why can't you be more like Jennifer and not try these stunts?" Han pleaded with his mother. "That girl has been attempting to sneak in multiple times, so you can thank me for not waking up to find her sleeping next to you," his mother said, sounding proud of herself. Placing a hand on his face, Han slowly breathed in to calm himself down. The last thing he needed was to talk about this with his mother. It never seemed to do anything, but at least it never progressed to anything more than her sleeping next to him. There was movement on the bed, and he soon felt the warmth and soft sensation of his mother's lips as she kissed his exposed cheek. "Don't be so shy, Han. It's normal to have a loving mother. I have the best sleep when I'm sleeping next to you, so I hope you'll forgive how selfish your mother is being," she whispered into his ear nearest to her. He felt her head press up against his, and her arms gently wrapping him in a hug. Judging by how he felt two soft sensations being squeezed against his chest, not the feeling of cloth from a blanket, Han didn't dare remove his hand from his face as he tried not to imagine his mother leaning her bare body against his. "I'm going to start wearing pajamas when I sleep," he swore for the umpteenth time in his head. Releasing him from her loving embrace, the movements of the mattress let Han know that she was getting out of bed. Not feeling the blanket being dragged away alerted him that she was completely exposed, her bare feet touching the floor and stepping away from the bed. Han listened as her footsteps began to head towards the bathroom. "Honey, we should go get something to eat. Let's head over and grab Jennifer before making our way to the cafeteria," his mother said. There was a pause in her footsteps that seemed to stop right before entering the bathroom. "Do you want to shower with Mommy? We could save time," she asked. "No, Mom. You shower first and I'll jump in after you're finished," Han said. Even though he wasn't able to see his mother's face, Han was sure that she was grinning about his reaction. After hearing his mother close the door to the bathroom, he sighed and removed his hand from his face. Listening to the sound of the water, Han felt mixed feelings about his mother. On one side, he was happy that she was becoming more self-confident, but on the other hand, was her actions towards him, which was becoming bolder. Waking up to someone in his bed in the morning, Han thought about his creations. He knew that if he asked, they would come to his side, but at the same time, he knew that they were taking care of essential tasks. Lifting up his hand, he thought about his creations and Star Moon. The light coming through the windows slowly dimmed and plunged the room into darkness. Hovering in the middle of the room was a web made out of light, connecting different points. Seeing the various color lights glowing and lighting the room, Han watched as different shades of light covered multiple locations. Each of the shades was a different universe, with some universes having more than one dot inside of it. Hovering above some of the dots were faces belonging to his creations. They were spread across the map, each one a different world, but all of them connecting by the same company. Occasionally, there'd be a bright dot that flashed along the line to a different node. With each light that was traveling between the dots, he wondered about what the people going from world to world thought about. Zooming into one of the nodes, he saw the face of Celestra floating above it. Below her was a faint image of various creatures that occasionally shifted in their appearance. Swiping his hand, the next node showed a distinct picture of an aquatic type of monster. Moving his hand again, the next world didn't show any kind of monster or face of his creation. Just looking at the world, he wondered whether it too would be selected. Spending time looking at different worlds, Han thought about the current world he was in and wondered what was happening on the surface. He actively didn't peek at the status of the world to leave some mystery. But after thinking about the matter, he made the world appear. "I'm about done and coming out. Don't stare too much at your mother." His mother's voice sounded from the bathroom. In a flash, the world and the map disappeared, and the light slowly entered the room. Soon the door opened, and a large amount of steam came flooding out. Instead of being wrapped up by a towel, his mother's brown hair damply went down her back, with some covering the top of her shoulders. Around her was a white towel that covered her body, though the material clung to her body to reveal the natural curves of her waist and hips. "Honey?" His mother's voice jolted him from his thoughts. His eyes quickly went to her face, and he saw her cheeks blushing as she said, "Did you hear what I said?" Was all he could answer with, as he felt embarrassed and collected his thoughts. "I'm starting to feel a little hungry, so we should head out soon," his mother repeated herself. Both of her hands were behind her back, and her left foot was behind her right leg. Her body language made it seem to convey a sense of shyness, due to her seeing Han becoming entranced. "Yeah, I'll just jump in and we can take off to grab Jennifer," he stammered, moving to get off the bed and walking past his mother. Entering the bathroom, Han closed the door and stared at the mirror that was still fogging up. He was thankful for not being able to see what type of expression he was making.